Chronicles of Olivia interview is different than the previous ones. We can tell Katie Proudfoot had time to think. It was 20 days after Sebastian was first reported missing, and Katie Proudfoot changed her language. For example, she no longer told us, when I woke him up, he wasn't there. Such things she didn't say anymore. She no longer gotten in. Well, let's get straight to this part here. Came home, he took out the trash. Not I came home, not we came home, not he and I came home. Came home. She's leaving out pronouns. Don't underestimate Katie Proudfoot. Chris Proudfoot is clueless. He can watch videos about anything he wants. He wouldn't get it. The things that we are here learning together, Chris Proudfoot would not be able to follow any of it. But Katie Proudfoot, I think, was actually able to see her own mistakes before they were pointed out by people. For example, she probably watched a lot of Peter Hyatt's videos. Mind you, Seth was on one of the videos, so I'm pretty sure that she was alerted to that channel and learned a lot about pronouns. And in her previous interview, she talked about the day. During the day, everything was we, together. There was unity between her and Sebastian, which clearly changed towards the evening. And especially when they gotten home, there was no more we. There was no more unity between Sebastian and her. There was friction. That was already my analysis from a previous interview. And now I'm pointing out the part in this interview, Chronicles of Olivia, at a later time, where she talks about the evening. We know she had a good time during the day. I believe her when she said we were laughing and joking. Now, the footage that you have seen from the Texas Roadhouse, I can guarantee you, if you saw something from the bowling alley, or even before that, BJ's, I am sure you would have seen a whole different scene. And that's according to her language, and I believe the language. That is why I love statement analysis. I don't need to second guess. I allow them to tell me what happened. And Katie Proudfoot also tells us what happened by changing her story. Not that I believe the second version, but she is pointing out very sensitive areas. And mind you, in the previous interview, she already had mentioned a thud at 10 p.m. Then she was asked about the thud. She didn't deny it. And what did she say? She said, she called out to him or to his room saying, "Hey Baba, are you okay? Did you fall out of bed?" That was her language. Did you fall out of bed? And according to her, Sebastian answered with, "No, ma'am," and went back to sleep, or something like that. Actually, no, that's not true. She said, she just left it at, "No, ma'am." Let's see what she tells us now. Came home, mind you, whenever Katie Proudfoot says, what is about to follow is sensitive in terms of there being something left out, or a new narrative is being created. She needs time to think where to start and how to start. And chances are she is scripted, very scripted, meaning a question comes up and all of a sudden she will skip to the part that she already had scripted in her mind. She already knows what she will tell. She already knows what she has previously stated and what she herself wasn't happy with. And rather than correcting herself or making it even harder on herself, she will just go forward and say something completely different about the same thing, in hope that people will forget what she first stated. But that's why I'm always into the very first interviews. I don't care what they're saying right now unless somebody points it out to me, unless it seems significant. I will get to it. But I am not interested in the new interviews. I'm not interested in listening to them. However, when there's something that stands out to you guys, send it my way, please. Let me know about it. I will get to it as I have time to get to it. But the problem is always, a lot of these statements contain a lot more than we first see. And unless I get to everything within the statement, it'll be very hard to go back to it later. It's very important for me to cover whatever I can see, or most of it, so you can follow along. And from there, we need to stay on the trail and see what else we can find to give us even more answers. So remember the previous interviews. Okay, he took out, came home, he took out the trash. So there's probably something missing here. Yeah, he took out the trash, but how long after they came home? And what happened when they came home? There was no more we. Was she already very tense? Did she look forward to calling Chris? Because they had problems. He gave her an ultimatum, it's me or him. Suddenly, as evening approached, it looks like she was confronted again with the relationship she wants to save between her and Chris. And she had a good day, I believe her, with Sebastian, and they were laughing and joking and enjoying the day. But she shows us clearly, she's telling us the tension began during the evening. And it escalated. Came home. Okay, you came home. Before you told us all about you put the groceries away and he likes snacks and all these things that wouldn't seem significant to us, except that they are. She likes to talk about food. People who have no... what is the phrase again by Sigmund Freud? People who lack money talk about money. People who are hungry talk about food. And our politicians and bankers, they talk about moralities. So she talks about feeding Sebastian. Why? Again and again and again. Is it because she was underfeeding him? Is that what she wants to hide? Because he was not 120. He was a lot lighter from what I have seen. And to put it into perspective, his height was about 5'5". No, I don't think he was even 120. He was extremely thin. He was very undernourished, and she only fed him junk food. From what I understand, snacks, spaghetti, omelets, and colossal popcorn. I guess at night he finally had a decent meal. But your body, when you're growing especially, is seeking nutrients, even in the junkiest of foods. So when we eat crappy food, we don't stop eating, and we still are hungry because our body still craves the nutrients. And our body prefers to go ahead and continue eating and eating and eating until there are more nutrients, enough nutrients in our system. So there's a reason somebody like him wouldn't stop eating when he had a chance to. He was very deficient. He kept on eating and eating, and you could see that in the Texas Roadhouse video. And Katie Proudfoot seemed on edge a little bit, right? I'm not exactly sure why. But it could be because she knew this boy wasn't going to sleep easily. She talked to us about him being overstimulated easily. Then she talked about how much sugary stuff he had to eat that day. She is establishing some sort of an alibi or an excuse for something she wound up doing. And that, what she wound up doing, had to do with him not wanting to go to sleep. About 9 o'clock, no pronoun, told him to go to bed. So, what is missing here? I told him to go to bed? Or already told him to go to bed? Or I have told him. I had told him to go to bed. She is letting us know about 9 o'clock she was done with him being up. That was it. He didn't show any sign of being tired at all. He was in no mood to go sleeping. And that's according to what she had told us. How overstimulated he gets. How he just ate all the wrong food. That's what her focus was. She talked about putting away the snacks, but she leaves out a lot of other stuff because he's a teenager. You know, snacks. Well, yeah, but again, fun fact, you made breakfast this morning, right? Okay. What about all the other mornings? He's always trying to make breakfast. He's trying to find food. Sebastian is starving. He was starving. He was being controlled by food. Was it on purpose or was it simple? Well, we'll get into this at a later time, but had told him already to go to bed. By that time, she made sure he understood it was time for you to go to sleep. And I'm done playing. Came out of his room where he was playing. She said to us, she's telling us, I was done with his playing. There was no more playtime. She's ready to talk to Chris. Playing is finished. Done. He said, all right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. I love you. She said that many times that he stated that. Good line, right? Well, what did she say back? Did she say, I love you back? Let me tell you something. She was asked several times, what would you say to Sebastian? And she never said, I love you. Not one time. Not I love you, not I miss you, not I worry about you, not I want you back. We want you back. We miss you. We love you. She's unable to say I love you. Even if she said I love you at that point, at that night, considering what happened afterwards, she is unable to allow herself to go back to the positive feelings that she had with him. She's protecting herself, her emotions. Because no matter how sociopathic she is, there are still real feelings coming up about what happened, and she knows how to put her own feelings aside for what she wanted to do, for how she prioritized, and went to bed. She's telling us, he said, all right, good night, Mama, good night, puppies, I love you, and he went to bed. She had been telling him by 9 o'clock to go to bed. He come out of her room where he was playing to say good night. He went to bed. Now pay close attention. He was doing something in his room. Really? I thought he went to bed. You're telling me after he went to bed he was doing something in his room? Why are you telling me he went to bed? That makes no sense. How do you know he was doing something in his room? Because about an hour later, what happened within that hour? I heard some noise. And I was like, when she said I was like, it means, disclaimer, I'm going to go way off script here. I'm going to go way into something that, you cannot hold against me in the future, because I'm like, when people say, well, I was like, get the hell out of here. No, you didn't say that to your boss. This is what people say when they're telling you, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I wished I said this, but you didn't say that, Kay, because in the previous interview, you told us you didn't say, I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep. You said, hey, Baba, are you alright? Did you fall out of bed? Because from experiential memory, that's lit into you. I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep. First of all, he was doing something in his room. No, he told us he went to bed. But an hour later you heard a thud. That's what the previous line was. And you told us twice, because the interviewer previously asked you about the thud, and you said the same thing again. Around 10 p.m. I heard a thud. And the second interview, before this one, she said, did you fall out of bed? That entered her language. She likely realized that she gave away much too much. I have said it before in my previous analysis. I think that he was over-medicated, he wouldn't go to sleep, rolled out of bed and hit his face on the ground. Because in another statement she says, I don't want to let his face fall to the bottom of the feet, which is talking about social media, but she uses this language for a reason. Even if it's slang, no matter what it is, the language that we pick, there are so many options to say the same thing. What we pick has often to do with experiential memories. But go to sleep. And now again, about midnight I got up and went to bed. And okay, I must have missed something previously. She probably talked about getting up from the couch. Well, this is now very crucial, because the also indicates after that thud a lot happened, a lot other than just getting up and going to bed, which I don't think happened, by the way. And again, 6 o'clock come in to wake him. You see, she doesn't say, I woke up when I went to wake him up, he wasn't there. When I woke him up, he wasn't there. 6 o'clock come in to wake him up for school. Let's fast forward. Monday morning. It means leave out anything between the and Monday morning. Forget what happened in that night. Around midnight to 6 o'clock she wasn't there. Really? What about the statement from Melissa that they've been searching since 5:30 a.m.? What about Seth saying that Kathy Bowersox had already been there by the time he got there, but she told us she got there after 10:30? What was going on? What are they hiding? Could it be this obvious? Yes, it's been this obvious from the very beginning. Wake him up for school Monday morning, and that's when he wasn't there. Forget everything previous. No. He was not there. Nothing happened before. Everything was great. She told us before in an interview, she went to sleep and everything was fine. Coming after she went to sleep. How do you know? Because her experiential memory doesn't allow her to be more accurate, because it didn't happen that way. She went to sleep, really? How do you know that between midnight and 6 there was absolutely nothing happening with you that you could have seen and could have heard? Yet you did. Yet you can guarantee us that everything seemed fine. Why, when you're asking about the camera footages, between midnight and 6 is so important to you? You need to say it again and again. Midnight to 6. Really? That's when he wasn't there. No. She wants us to think that this is the first time she realized he was missing. But you look at the other parts and the about midnight. A lot happened before 6 o'clock. A lot. I heard some noise. You see? No, you heard a thud. You are minimizing what you heard. You didn't hear some noise. A thud. A thud is a very, very loud, distinct noise of something dropping, like a bowling ball. That's a thud. Not some noise. When people take back what they said previously, correct it, and it is so extremely minimized, as we can see it here, that is a flag, people. That is telling us that this is an area she wants to avoid. She doesn't want to go there. Whenever they tell us something so opposite from what they have previously let us know, that is a sign that we have hit a very sensitive area. And if you have time, look up my previous video called Who Caused Sebastian Rogers' Disappearance? And you will see me analyze the other interview, the previous one, which he is now trying to move away from.